Well, good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time zone you hail from. And it's the Lord of Toxicity. Today, we're going to be talking about Buffy Season 2 in our Toxic Retrospective episodes 4, 5, and 6, which will be Reptile Boy, Halloween, and some other one I can't even remember because two of them suck and only one of them is good. I'm going to bring in my panel of guests so we can start talking shit and discuss what our different thoughts are. First and foremost, my stalwart co-host from the northern area, Northern English Bastard. How are you, sir?
Hello, you beautiful bastard. So glad I could work on this intro. I was must have worked a bit more hard on it this time.
It was beautiful, beautiful as always. Thank you so much. And coming back again from the boomer generation of the 1940s, way before they even had moving pictures, Mr. Critter Kingsford. Critter, how are you, sir?
Hello there. Yeah, no, because I'm not that old. My God, bastards.
Oh, yeah, boomer. We like having boomers on here. It's all
where are these voices coming from? The computer?
And last but certainly not least, a special guest from Horror with Nadia's stream that I do 2 times a week, Mr. Toonyboy. Toonyboy, how are you? We got 2 Brits and 2 Americans. Fantastic.
Hello there. Yes, I'm from a generation too. I'm from the generation where Boomer is a type of zombie from Left 4 Dead. So, how's everyone doing?
I'm good. I'm tired as shit. I slept horrible last night. I dreamed I was back in prison and I was getting initiated in the Aryan Brotherhood, and they found out that I used to be married to a black chick, so wackiness did ensue. Yeah, it was rough. It was a little rough last night.
That's quite a dream. They should make a Buffy episode about it.
They can make some kind of an episode about it. But anyway, since we have like a full panel tonight, I don't guess Jenn is going to grace us with her presence. I didn't really expect it to. I just needed her hot rack for the thumbnail. I was curious for Critter just getting back into the series, episodes 4, 5, and 6, which are Reptile Boy, Halloween, which is amazing, and then Inca Mummy. Oh God, see, that's how forgettable Inca Mummy is.
Yeah, that's the episode 4. That's the first one that we're going to.
Yeah. So Inca Mummy Girl, did you just have to rewatch all of these? I know I got a message from you, Critter, that you had said that you were in the midst of rewatching like Halloween and stuff. So
I knocked out 4 and 5. I figured I want to be a little bit more prepared than just like a recap or finding clips. And so yesterday I was crashed on the couch with free time. So I kind of had the phone in one hand with the headset on, watching these episodes while the little one was watching SpongeBob. Jeez.
Oh, have you tried the Binky and the NyQuil like I suggested, or the Benadryl?
He had his goldfish and he was good to go. So he wasn't jumping on me or
Your kids require a lot less medication than my kids.
They do.
I wish I was that good at multitasking.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You got SpongeBob on one screen and Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the other. Like, how do you manage to focus on both?
I got to tell you, every now and then, I'm like, what the hell's going on SpongeBob? Why is that happening?
Yeah, SpongeBob's a wild show, actually.
Yeah,
I should do a retrospective on that at some point. As I always say, I mean, if you're watching a retrospective on a show that's been off the air for over 20 years, you got to expect spoilers. But I will say it for pro forma's sake, we are going to spoil a lot of plot points, not only that have to do with the episodes in which we are discussing, but plot points that have to do with the series overall, and maybe even bleeds in a little bit into the spin-off series Angel. So if you've not watched all of Buffy and all of Angel, I'm not smart enough, good enough, or clever enough, and probably neither are my guests, in order to get it to the point where we are not spoiling the shit out of something. I know this is an issue oft times when Toonyboy joins us on Stranger Things, and we go to great lengths to try to shield him from finding out too much stuff that has happened past the point of which he's watched it. But for this viewing audience, it's too fucking early. I have not had enough caffeine in me, and I can't force that upon my guests to not spoil what they know. So if you've not watched all of Buffy and Angel, tune out, come back and join us later. It's not that big of a deal. There is going to be stuff that's going to be said that has major plot points. So that's it. That's your warning. I can't do much better than that. And of course, as always, YouTube, get off my dick. There's my copyright. Everything I'm using is fair use that was pulled off of YouTube. So leave me alone. Anyway, so Inca Mummy Girl, I guess we'll start with and knock this one out of the way as quickly as possible, because of the 3 that we're going to talk about today, it's certainly the weakest. I think everybody else would agree of the 3 episodes that we're going to talk about. So I guess we'll just flush this turd as quickly as possible. Let me pull up my slides real quick that I painstakingly did yesterday. Because I'm awesome.
Thankfully,
like
I have watched all of Buffy fairly recently, actually. So
nice.
I don't have to worry about spoilers for that. I probably should have actually said so in Nadia's stream with Stranger Things. I don't because I know I'm the only one who, by choice, hasn't watched the rest of the show. I don't mind them talking about spoilers for stuff I haven't seen, because that's I'm not trying.
Yeah, I think
stream.
she's just trying to be courteous to you, if nothing else, which I think is
Sure.
pretty fair. I mean, but I mean, I think it's hard to. I mean, and with Stranger Things, the latest season of Stranger Things was just 2022, as opposed to you put that juxtapose that against Buffy. Buffy ended its entire series in 2003. So, I mean, I kind of feel like, but so Inca Mummy Girl, initial thoughts before I start breaking down the slides from anybody. Let's start with Northern. You're the first in the queue just because of the way that I brought people in. Northern, what's your thoughts on this Yawn Fest episode here?
No, I agree. It's one of those episodes I actually forgot until you brought up the thumbnail. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that episode exists as well.
Yeah.
Season 2 kind of still has a few dodgy episodes, even though it does
more than
it is an improvement on the first one.
Yeah. Critter, what about you?
I guess I'll not spoil it, but I think it was okay. I like the special effects of the mummy and all her sucking the souls. It was it made me long to watch a X-Files episode instead of this. And the only other point I want to make is that the museum reminds me of Lex Luthor's place in Smallville, where there's like one staff member, there's no security, there's no locks, people just coming and going. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, nothing happens in this museum. Vampires don't come here at night.
Yeah. My question
no need to lock the door.
Why does Sunnydale High keep letting these kids go on these fucking field trips? Every time they go on a field trip, some wackiness ensues. Like, so at some point, it's like, what? And I can't even imagine, what does the Sunnydale field trip waiver even look like? That's got to be.
Your life is for no. It's we are not responsible for any fatalities that occur on campus or off campus.
I think once you move to Sunnydale, the entire family signs those documents with the town hall.
Yeah, they make a joke in later seasons that you. That's why Sunnydale has affordable housing still. You still get a good. Well, I don't want to do this because then it messes up. I wonder, is there a way to rotate this to where this doesn't block Toonie's face? Not that he's the most attractive guy, but I don't want to do that. Well,
I don't think I've ever seen that big. I don't know if you can shrink it down.
I wish I had a nickel for every. I wish I had a nickel for every time somebody told me that. Northern, Jesus Christ.
You never know. Maybe all the chat will just say, no, actually, keep the text just where it is. It's fine.
Yeah. No, you're a handsome devil. So just initial thoughts on this before I give a brief synopsis of the episode, Toonie.
It's just one of those. It's a filler episode. I think the most unfortunate thing about it is that it doesn't even push the characters forward in any way. It's one of those you couldn't even have characters reference it in a later episode as some form of like, remember when that happened, because nobody would. No, it wouldn't have happened. Do you like how in this episode the Xander makes the joke about how it says you're not a praying mantis, are you? Because referencing that season 1 episode.
Yeah.
You couldn't even do anything like that with this episode, because just nothing. Nothing particularly like ruined any. There was no like character ruination happening, but it was just one of those you could skip it. It doesn't change the story at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, point in fact, I will point out the fact that later in season 3, Cordelia does say, "Oh, maybe you were scheming on some hot Inca Mummy Girl." Yeah, I heard about that one. So, I mean, yeah, it does get referenced again later, but you're not wrong for the overall. So, anyway, for the uninitiated, or maybe because you don't remember because it's not a very memorable episode, God knows I didn't want to remember this one. The kids go to a field trip at the local museum. And they're kind of nonplussed, not only about the lame ass field trip, but Buffy has found out that her mom has signed them up for a foreign exchange student to come in to stay with them, which I guess is a thing that is happening this week. I'm sure it will have no bearing whatsoever on the mystery that goes on at the museum at all. Cordelia's family has also gotten a foreign exchange student. Both of them are getting male foreign exchange students. Buffy, in the form of Empata, will be Empata Gutierrez will be coming in, and I just read that off IMDb. I didn't remember it from memory. And Cordelia will be getting Sven, muscular, Swedish dude, will be coming in, and she actually shows some interest and actually asks Buffy, what one did you get, as if they were comparing coach bags or something like that. Xander, of course, showing his Xanderness, is nonplussed and doesn't like the idea that Buffy is getting a male attention person coming into her orbit more than she already has Angel and any other dude that's scheming on her, much less one that's going to be living in the house. So he expressed his dismay at this, and they have a little back and forth as there's a teenage boy that's dicking around with some of the stuff in there. Teenage boy played by a younger Martin Riggs from the Lethal Weapon TV show, which I couldn't believe that was him. But as soon as I saw him, I recognized who he was. Sans mustache, but add braces. And remember that because that's going to be important later. Xander points out that the kid is up to no good and we should probably stop him. Buffy goes to intervene. And when she does so, Willow jumps in and says, no, we don't need to use violence for this. Buffy says very, very sweetly, I don't always use violence. And Xander's like, it's important that you believe that. So I thought that was at least a cute scene. So yeah, whatever standard soon to be dead non-character that Willow just happens to know of the week pops in, and Munson, I think it's like Randy Munson or something retarded like that. He's dicking around with some of the stuff, and Willow says, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. Oh, what am I going to get kicked out of school or, killed, whatever. And like I said, he pops up later. He's a character actor that was Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon, the TV show, and also Justified, which is a fantastic fucking show. He's a one-off villain in that. To their dismay, they find that there is actually a zombified girl inside the casket. I don't know that this is like an awesome thing to see on a field trip, but what do I know? And the zombified girl is holding onto some kind of special plate, which is giving, magical whoopity doop. While they're looking at it, Chief Rainwater from Yellowstone comes in with a knife and tries to attack everybody. Xander actually kind of fights him off and does a pretty halfway decent job of it. Chief Rainwater decides discretion is the better part of valor and falls back. And Xander rightly says, hey, did I just save all our asses? And he kind of did. So good score one for Xander. I might start at like a Xander cool points because he loses so many in the long run. Later, they're training inside the library. It's always funny that no one's ever coming in for books at the library, and Buffy and Giles just get to do whatever the hell they want all the time. That seems kind of problematic, but whatever. Buffy doing her usual beating the dog shit out of Giles as he's trying to train her. She wants to go to this upcoming dance. He doesn't want to let her because she has her Slayer duties, and she rightly is pissed off about that. They get into a conversation, her and Xander, about who they're going to take to the dance. Are they going stag? Are they going to go as a group? Xander wants to go as a group, and Buffy does not. She wants them to all find dates in some kind of way. Of course, she wants to go with Angel, and she thinks that Xander and Willow make a good couple. Xander says that he does, in fact, love Willow, but loves her as a best friend. And of course, Willow walks in, and Buffy, with her Slayer sense, doesn't use her peripheral vision and see Willow walk in and lets her walk right into that, which fucked up, Buffy. Pretty fucked up. Xander tries to cover, doesn't really do a very good job. And Willow's actually upset about that, but more upset that Randy Munson, I think his name was Randy, has gone missing. And they all kind of have a little joke like, well, I hope the mummy didn't get him. And then they realize that they live on the Hellmouth and the mummy, in fact, could have gotten him. And so they go to check it out and find that the mummy has been replaced by Randy's mummy corpse because he's got the braces, and they didn't have braces in Aztec times, no matter how high tech they were. And we get the foreign exchange student is not actually a boy, but an attractive girl who, is in the young, hot Latina actress that is the, I guess she's Santanico Pandemonium from the third failed From Dusk Till Dawn movie. Xander's quite smitten with her. Willow's not happy about that. And Xander and she just kind of hang out. So, what's you guys' thoughts on these special guests? We got an early Justified / Lethal Weapon canceled actor. We got Chief Rainwater from Yellowstone, and we got Santanigo Pandemonium before she was Santanigo Pandemonium in Hangman's Daughter from Dusk Till Dawn 3. Any thoughts on the special guest stars? Luke, did you recognize these or?
No, I didn't recognize Danny Strong. But I know we got the first appearance of Seth Green on there, and he becomes a very likable character later on. And I think
I'll pull a lance. I'll pull a lance. Yeah. Don't read ahead. I've not got to that yet. Norman.
Yeah, I think the Inca Mummy Girl, she's trying her best, but the material just isn't that strong enough, though, as well. But yeah, Danny Strong from Lethal Weapon. I can't believe I didn't recognize him. I mean, because he looks so bloody young and boyish. Yeah. Well, in Lethal Weapon, he looks real gruff and a bit more seasoned.
Yeah, he grew up fast, didn't he? He got kind of buff too. Critter, thoughts on our special guests for this episode? Did you recognize any of them? All of them? None of them? What?
No, I did not. But because of the subtitles, for a moment in the opening credits, I thought Kiefer Sutherland was in the show. It's someone else named Sutherland, but I'll say this:
Christine Sutherland is she plays Buffy's mom.
Oh, gotcha. And I just really quick, what I like about finding old shows like Battlestar Galactica, Burn Notice, you go through the IMDb, I'm like, holy crap! Miami Vice is a perfect example of hundreds of people who are now big time, or unfortunately has no.
Funny you should say that. We happen to have a panelist who runs a Miami Vice retrospective, and we've discussed that in great detail. I won't name names, but it rhymes with Forthern Fringlish Bestard.
I just like finding a show and like, holy crap, there's a young so and so,
Yeah, no, it's always cool.
No, I did not recognize either of those guys. And as soon as you mentioned the Lethal Weapon reboot, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then he turned out to be like hostile and angry.
Apparently. I mean, allegedly, whatever that's worth. Toonyboy, did you, I know you're only like 16, 17 years old. Did you recognize any of these people? And I know you have that painted on beard, but we're all aware.
This thing didn't grow out when I was 16, didn't, right? No, I'm 24, by the way. I don't recognize any of the actors or anything. No, what did you call him? The Yellowstone chief guy,
Chief Rainwater from Yellowstone.
All right, I haven't seen that, unfortunately. Apparently I'm making a list.
He's another character actor of the mainstay. I don't know what his actual name is, and I don't give a shit. No one cares. But he's a mainstay with all of Tyler Sheridan's properties. He pops in, and Wind River, he's the co-deputy, ill-fated co-deputy in Hell or High Water, and he's basically a Taylor Sheridan mainstay property as far as that goes.
Yeah. Technically, we haven't gotten to that part yet, so I kind of don't want to read ahead, but I feel like he was just as pointless to the episode as the Braces guy.
I mean, he just kind of gives exposition. I guess what we're supposed to understand or take away from this is that Empata represents a mirror version of Buffy. She was chosen by her people to sacrifice herself against the forces of darkness. And much in the same way, she's a young girl that never got a chance to have much of a life. And she, with the magic plate, she has to turn into the zombie monster. And they weren't really clear on how that works. And then in a parallel way, Chief Rainwater is her kind of watcher, except he's got a big dagger and he's super buff and angry about things. But it's basically that's the parallel we're supposed to drag from that. But the pacing in this fucking episode is so off. It's one of those things where you think it's going one way and it's taking forever to get there, and then the stuff that you already recognize, like the parallels, it beats you over the head with it. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. Clayton Crawford instead of Danny. Yeah, but also Danny Strong does make his first appearance in here, so I haven't had enough caffeine to correct you yet, Northern. So it's totally fine. You're good, bro. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. I did recognize all of these people just because I am a big nerd. So obviously I know Chief Rainwater. I'm a huge Taylor Sheridan fan, and I knew Clay Crawford. I didn't know his name, but I know all the stuff that he's been in. Huge Justified fan, and I did like the Lethal Weapon reboot. And I was surprised that I recognized this young actress who didn't do much else, but she did play pre-Santanigo Pandemonium, and actually one of the better of the two failed sequels to From Dusk Till Dawn, than Hangman's Daughter, which is kind of a prequel instead of a sequel. Sorry, burping up my monster here. Very unprofessional. Fuck it, nobody's watching. So Xander does what any American guy would do when a very smoking hot young illegal comes over. He feeds her, gives her Twinkies, because of course he would. Like, why wouldn't he? God, she's gorgeous. Look at this, man. Damn, she is one good look, man. I would, you know what? I'd almost let her just suck the life out of people, just if I could, if she could keep that under control. So Xander's kind of
nearly does as well. He actually says, don't kill Willow, suck the life out of me.
Yeah, I wonder if he
meant
it in a different way.
And he gets a fucking hot gal sucking him off. I mean, sucking the life out of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a vastly different context, but
sucking down a Twinkie.
Yeah, so Xander's throwing all his Twinkie riz at her, and because she has obviously been mummified for a while, and from a Hispanic culture, she hasn't eaten in a while. So they shove Twinkies in their mouth, and I guess this works because she thinks he's cute. Willow's over here pouting again. Willow, Jesus. I mean, I gotta feel like Xander would have done a friend fuck at some point with Willow. I mean, maybe she should have given him I stuck the flute up my pussy one time line to Xander. Maybe that would have enticed him for something. But anyway, the beautiful moment gets interrupted because Chief Rainwater has come to reclaim his Latina chosen one. Xander fights him off again, which is like, okay, Xander, I guess we clock this one as a Xander episode, so to speak.
Yeah. I was impressed actually that he caught the stab when Chief whoever when he got on the stage and then Xander fell back. He sort of he lunged down to go for the stab. He actually caught his arm, which I was impressed. But he didn't block it or anything. He fully caught the arm. I wonder if this episode would have been just stuff like that would have been ever so marginally improved if it came after the Halloween episode. Because they do sort of, I don't want to read too far ahead, but what happens in that episode.
No, I see where you're going. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, no, that's a good point. But I would also point out that, despite him being a quote unquote dork, Xander is in good shape, as we see in episodes where he's got his shirt off. And he's your age. He's 16, where all of his reflexes are still like really good and tight, and he can kind of pull that kind of stuff off. So after the little melee, and Empata implores the Scooby Gang to destroy the plate because it's only gonna come to no good. Actually, kind of a reasonable performance. If we didn't already know better, I would have written this and not had the reveal that she was the mummy. I would have had it seem like she was the exchange student and then do the mummy reveal later. If it was me, that's how I would have written it, because she does a pretty good performance in the library, basically telling him, hey, destroy that plate because it's going to keep bringing this evil knife wielding, guy from Taylor Sheridan universe back on us each time. So let's get rid of it. And it seems pretty genuine. Now we as the audience know that she is the Inca Mummy Girl, and that's why she wants the plate destroyed. But obviously the Scooby Gang doesn't know that, and they think it's just Empata, and of course Xander's trying to white knight the whole situation. She goes to refresh herself in the bathroom, and Chief Rainwater is there waiting for her, and she winds up sucking the life out of him and hiding the body. Later, Buffy, fucking oblivious again, this is 2 times in the episode, goes to help her unpack and going through her shit. Buffy, first of all, I don't know why you think it's okay to just go through somebody's shit, but anyway, there's a dead fucking mummified corpse inside Empata's thing, and Buffy just happens to glance the other way and doesn't see it or smell it with her hypersenses. So that's an odd one, as Xander shows up to pick up Empata for the date. Xander comes in dressed as, I would assume, Clint Eastwood from a Sergio Leone movie. And Empata comes down in a pretty smoking hot dress. I don't know how they pulled that off. I guess we're supposed to believe that Buffy just had extra dresses ready to rock and gave one to Empata, or did she give her dress that she was going to wear, or not really sure about that. But she comes down looking smoking hot. Xander's speechless. And a cute little moment, Buffy, translating boy speak, speechless to her, and they get ready to go out on the dance. I love this scene because it's like all of a sudden Buffy's giving fuck me eyes to Xander. And why? Because Xander's going out with a chick that's hotter than her, which instantly makes Xander a hotter commodity. Anybody else catch that, or is that just toxic?
Makes sense. That makes sense. Girls want what the cat fucking have. Sorry. Yep. Sorry, women.
So Xander, that's been basically throwing his dick at Buffy for like 2 seasons now, and she's not cared at all. When Angel's off doing angel shit or whatever the hell he's doing, he's not been around to give her the brooding stare. So Xander goes out with this hot Latina, and all of a sudden Buffy's looking at him like she wants to lick him like an ice cream cone. Critter, did you pick this up, or were women like this in the 50s, or have they just started doing this in like the modern age?
Oh boy, no! It is a thing for both men and women where like a girl gets engaged and all the dudes or something like find her more interesting, and the same thing when a guy starts dating a new girl or is about to get married, all the single friends are, oh wait a minute, yeah. So they look upon the opposite sex in a different light when they're no longer obtainable, or there's more work involved in obtaining them. So but again, this show is just filled with multiple triangles that sometimes can be annoying.
So your stance on this is that men do it just as much as women do it. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so. Or maybe
from your egalitarian bullshit fucking.
I also think like when a girl announces that she's engaged, all the other girlfriends are squealing and giggling, and all the guys are like, shit, like you missed the boat.
I don't do that at all, and I can tell you, I do throw some dick at chicks who are about to get engaged because I know that they're looking for one last fling with some toxic asshole. So I figured this is my chance to give her some chlamydia she can take home to the new husband.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Right. Until you get a shot. Toonyboy, what's your thoughts on this? Have you started dating girls yet? Are you not old enough, or have you?
He's only 12. He shouldn't be dating.
Yeah, you're a little too young. Although that documentary of adolescence that the BBC is forcing everybody to watch would have me believe that at 12 you can already be an incel. So what's going on in your mind with this Buffy and Xander interaction here? Did you catch it, or did it take me pointing it out?
It did. I didn't catch it. No, I not the fuck me eyes. No, I just I think I was too busy still like internally laughing at the when he it's almost like Xander pretended to continue speaking in whatever in the what language did you call it, like
hormonal
American, was it?
Yeah, it's hormonal American boy speaker. That's a cute scene. I do like that. Xander and the guy that plays him has he's got very good comedic timing. I know he's like a hunky dude and all that in real life. I mean, we know that, but in the context of the show, in the world of Buffyverse, the guy that plays Xander, his name escapes me right now. I don't know why. He is just Xander. Yeah, right. He's never going to be anything else, so we might as well just say Xander. He does a very good job with his, playing the goofball and things like that. He never plays, and then occasionally he gets to be heroic. So they don't do it the opposite way. Like Toonyboy and I have discussed on Stranger Things, where they flip-flop people for plot contrivances, characters' motivations and the way they act. Anyway, we're spending too much time on this fucking episode. So we get our first look at the dance at Dingo's Ate My Baby, and the lead guitarist is played by Seth Green, who we will later find out is Oz. And I'm not spoiling too much to let you know that he will become a main character, because of course he is. They're going to have Seth Green. This is actually... Go ahead.
He'll always be Joker to me. He'll always be the pilot. He'll always be the helmsman of the SSB Normandy. Yeah, that's what he'll always be.
That's interesting. See, I know Seth Green from a lot of stuff. I grew up watching like Can't Buy Me Love, and My Stepmother's an Alien, which Allison Hannigan was also in. So the two of them were kind of side-eyed love interests even then. So seeing him pop up in this first episode at least gives it some reason for this to exist. So we get a couple.
They do have that little cute thing where Willow keeps passing him and he's like, "Who's that girl?"
Yeah. Yes.
He's the voice of the audience. That's what he is.
You're right. Cordelia shows up in this Bahama Mama two-piece, looking all of the 30-year-old that she was during this time, and some random Asian dudes walking by wondering why Willow is doing cultural appropriation with her Eskimo suit, which of course is another Willow hiding, which we will talk more about in a later episode. Giles is doing Giles things, trying to figure out stuff and looking for a reason to get knocked unconscious again. And of course, he gets that opportunity because, Empata comes in and knocks out Giles. She tries to kill Willow so she can keep her life force, because we're finding out that in order to maintain this facade of hot Empata, she's got to drain the life force out of somebody like once or twice a day. So in a way, almost a vampire herself, or, well, a succubus, whatever you want to call it. Xander intervenes, and in a really gross shot, Buffy jumps in and pulls Empata away, and Xander, I kind of cleaned it off a little bit here. Xander disarms Empata. Get it? He disarms her. So yeah, and then she crushes down to the ground and dies. And we end the episode with Xander moping around that he lost his chance at love, even though Willow's right there, flute in the ready at any given time to give him some good hot American Pie sex, but he doesn't want it because he wants what he can't have. So maybe Critter is onto something. Who said boomers don't know stuff? And of course, we end with, because he just is lovelorn and just had a chick that wanted to fuck him, Buffy's giving him fuck me eyes again at the end of the episode. So that's Inca Mummy Girl. Look at you, Buffy. I've lost a lot of respect for you in this episode, Buffy. I'm not gonna lie. So thoughts on this? So Toonyboy. We have like a 3-tier rating system here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull it up really quick. So it's either a meh episode, a skip it altogether, or it's a steak-tastic episode. Let me see if I can pull that up. I should have had that on the ready. I'm fucking not had any kind of caffeine yet. So would you call this steak-tastic, excellent episode, meh, and so, or would you say skip it all together? What are you giving it?
Well, no stakes were involved, so even if I enjoyed the episode, I just don't think it's legal. I'm usually not particularly critical, so I probably would go meh instead of what was the other one?
It's skip it all together.
Yeah, it's. I mean, when I was watching through the series, I never skipped any of them. I'll probably just go with meh. I don't think there's ever been an episode that I thought that was awful. I really do not want to watch it again. I'll go with meh.
We'll go with one meh from Toonyboy. So thank you for your meh. Northern, I know I just jumped around you a little bit, but Toonyboy is our new guest, so please forgive. And what would you?
It's okay. Toonyboy is always welcome. I was going to go skip this, but it does kind of redeem Xander a little bit, so I'll give it a meh. Yeah.
All right, we got a
meh. Story. We don't get spikes, so yeah, just a meh. It's just a filler episode. That's it.
It's very season one-y, isn't it? It's very kind of season one. Except for the introduction of Seth Green's character, which we basically get like 3 introductions of him in the next several episodes. He just keeps popping up in little cameos. So really, I mean, I don't know, man. But you know what? I'll do the guess first. Critter, what's your vote? Steak-tastic, meh, or skip it altogether?
I'm gonna say meh. It was watchable, but like a weak episode of X-Files. Are we also still doing favorite quote?
We can. Yeah, give me your favorite quote on it. Give me. Well,
it's not even the quote. Just like I think maybe it's the quote that annoyed me. Where for God's sakes, who's the? Oh God, I can't.
Well, it can't be too much of your favorite quote. I can't fucking remember it.
Cordelia says, "Dogly." In the opening, they were just zipping around. She uses the term "dogly." I'm like, what the hell is that?
Dogly? What is that? I don't know. I missed that somehow.
Something about they were talking about the different kids that were coming in for the students, the
foreign exchange students.
Thank you. And she's, I hope mine isn't all dogly.
Huh?
I've never heard.
I must have missed that.
It's got to be a Joss Whedon thing, I guess. Trying to
probably
make a thing. That's it. No, I would say this episode was meh.
Okay, so we've got 3 votes for meh. I'm giving it a skip just for the fact that yes, I realize that it's our first look at Seth Green, but as I said, Seth Green pops up in little cameos over the next couple episodes, and he doesn't really get to shine until like halfway through the season anyway. So as for me, I'm gonna give this one a skip. You can, if you're on a rewatch with Buffy, or if you've never watched Buffy before, I don't know why you're listening to this if you never watched Buffy before, but either way, this is definitely something I would encourage people to just skip, because it really slows things down and it comes off as just a bad Goosebumps episode. And I'm not even going to rate it as a bad X-Files episode. I'll just say bad Goosebumps episode. And it's just really dumb. The pacing's all off. the plot, they hammer you over the head with the whole plot, and we've talked enough about this fucking loser of an episode. So let's move on to something cool. So the next episode is it's very divisive, and I think it's going to be divisive amongst the panel. It is Reptile Boy, and the plot of it is that Buffy and Cordelia are going to go on a double date kind of with some fraternity guys, which is very problematic since these guys are all like seniors in college, and Buffy and Cordelia are juniors in high school. So not super cool. Not cool on this one. But yeah, Cordelia decides to entice Buffy into this one's too soon. I'm gonna pause that one. That one doesn't need to be in there yet. But she decides to entice Buffy because one of the guys thinks Buffy is hot and she wants to get her into there. Buffy's having trouble with Angel. Angel's not giving Buffy the attention that she feels like she deserves. Karma's a bitch, Buffy. And, they decide to basically have,
reviewed a problematic episode and called it.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. Let me remove that real quick. Okay. They decide to have a double date, and they both go on to this fraternity house, which is crazy. They get roofied, and we find out that these guys in the fraternity have been using girls as like sacrifices to the demon Makata as a way of I guess getting super successful in life or whatever. So basically what happens in real life where they sacrifice young children on Epstein Island and shit like that. So, kind of in that way. And yeah, so the main head guy is got a big boner for Buffy. He's way too old for her. But then when you consider the fact that, the current guy she's cheesing on is like 200 and some odd years older than her. Look at this guy. This guy's like 40 years old. But then again, you consider the fact that all the stuff. Cordelia decides to play nice with Buffy, which I think is interesting. Cordelia has no problem playing nice with somebody whenever they have something that she needs. So if it's Willow has got some school thing, or Xander's got something that she wants before their boyfriend and girlfriend, or Giles or whoever, she's such a mercenary that she'll go after him. Initial thoughts on Reptile Boy, Northern English Bastard. I know this is a divisive episode. Go for it. Give me your initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, I like the idea that it's sort of like playing on the guys that roofie girls, and they're evil and that. But it's once again, I think it's another forgettable filler episode.
Okay, Critter.
I know I complained last time about how everyone looks so damn old. The whole meet cute with the frat guys and Cordelia in the opening, I was like, I know they're frat guys, but they still look like they were like 40. And so facts. Yeah, all those folks especially in the beginning, you try to move on and try to enjoy the show, but it just stuck out as them being really, really
well. Even if they were the age at which they were supposed to be, they'd be like college guys. So a college guy, assuming he goes into college straight after high school, it's going to be he's 18, so he'd be 19, 20, 21, he'd be at least 22, 23 years old, going out with a girl that's 16, 17. That's fucked up.
And even though Cordelia, the actress, looks like 20-ish, it still was really.
She looks fucking 30, dude. What are you talking about? She's not gonna listen. She's not gonna watch this show and fuck you, man. I'm just telling you. Like, you don't have to butter her up that much.
My point. Wait, so there's still a chance?
You never know.
So it was very, very obvious, especially during those particular short scenes in the beginning. That's all. They all were older looking.
Yeah. Toonyboy, initial thoughts on this episode?
Initial thoughts? Not many. I'm stupid. No. So we're not talking about we're only talking about this far in the episode. Nothing that happens way later.
You can say whatever you want about this episode throughout the entire thing. Go for it. We're gonna flush this turd as quick as possible to try to keep it under like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I would say it is another mostly filler episode. I can't remember how much this in particular gets paid off later in the show. I did enjoy the Buffy and Giles scenes, like his little yelp when she went to kick him, when they were having a little argument about how much freedom she gets and whether or not she can go to the party or no, not this party, but she's having an argument with him and he's sternly saying no, and then she goes they're in the middle of training and she's not holding back her strength. She goes for a kick and then she goes fine. I feel like those interactions.
I feel like this has really been done to death before. It seems like it was just even done in the previous episode. Her wanting to go out, Giles not wanting to let her, trying to keep. He already knows that she's an unorthodox slayer and she's going to do things the way that she wants to do them. So it seems really dumb, and it almost seems like, are we supposed to just understand that it's an allegory tale of, if you keep your kids too far constrained, they're going to rush into a bad thing? But I don't know, man. Whatever. So they wind up getting. Her and Cordelia get roofied. They wind up getting chained up in the basement with one of the other girls. Willow spills the beans to Angel and Giles, so they decide to come in on the rescue. Xander's already there, and kind of doing some pretty cool shit. He winds up fucking up one of the dudes, so that's pretty good. And of course, it's the whole, hey, we're gonna sacrifice you guys for success and glory and money and things like that. And of course, Buffy gets free, and she winds up chopping the penis monster in half or whatever, and thereby making all the boys impotent. And then they find out later, because Xander's reading a fucking newspaper at the goddamn club, that all the alumni from that frat are experiencing horrible misgivings and things are going bad or whatever, dude. It's God, it's a dumb episode. It's another one of the season one. I will give to this one scene in it I do really like, so I'll play that real quick. Hopefully we don't get a strike or whatever, but I do like this, and it's the scene at the end. So,
young men are the only way to go.
Oh, Cordelia learned a lesson to just go for men her age. Oh, isn't that great? Even though she's actually 30, but that's cool.
Well, it says here that they've all been sentenced to consecutive life sentences. Investigators found the bones of missing girls in a huge cavern beneath the frat house, and older bones dating back 50 years.
I like how Buffy has her hair permed right after this. I was almost raped and mutilated, and so I decided to get my hair did because I needed a sweet treat.
Surprising number of corporations whose chairmen and founders are former Delta Zeta Kappas are suffering from falling profits, IRS raids, and suicides in the boardroom. Starve a snake, lose a fortune. Boy,
Thanks for the exposition there, Xander. It's fucking lovely.
Did they ever explain what that creature was, or how it has some kind of reality bending, look-based effect on the world?
Mean, it's done a couple times to less successful stuff later on in the series, and even into Angel a little bit. I think they do it very almost clone the episode in the episode of Angel where Cordelia gets pregnant and they have to give birth to the demon spawn in order for these guys to somehow attain money and success and power and stuff like that. No, they don't really say it. It's just like a one-off thing where it's just some random snake demon that they worship that's going to give them some sort of, uptick in their lives or
being
whatever.
In danger and changed into a girl. It's the most amazing thing I ever saw. I mean, how many guys can...
Angel. Does every conversation we have to come around to that freak? Hey, man, how you doing?
I like that bit. He's right behind me.
Yeah. What I enjoyed about that is that he didn't play it off like, "Oh, I didn't see you there." He didn't. It wasn't as if he was very aware of it. Like when he said, "Hey man, how you doing?" He sort of played it off deliberately. Because what they'll often do is that they'll make it so that the guy's dead surprised, like he didn't see them, and then he tries to walk back and pretend that he didn't say anything. But he what's the word? He owns it, and with Xander, he just goes with it. I
can't give credit though. He does have some fucking balls just to not give a shit that he's slagging Angel off right next to him.
Yeah,
because unlike Spike, Angel doesn't have a chip. He could literally rip off. Xander's head if he wanted to.
Yeah,
that's actually that's a really funny joke that they use in season 3 or something like that. I think Angel says that to Cordelia when she's on a I can't wait till we get to that. Cordelia's on a commercial. She's still trying to do commercial bullshit, and the guy's really talking shit to her and talking shit to him too, but he doesn't mind that. But it's that really treating Cordelia like a piece of shit. And when the director walks away, Angel's like, I don't have a chip. I do have a soul, but I can rip his head off. And I mean, literally, I can rip his head from his body. So we got to get through this like good. So I'll go clockwise this time. Northern, is it meh? Is it Slayer or Steaktastic, or is it skippable?
It's very it's skippable. I completely forgot about this episode. I've going through this retrospective again. I'm like, shit, man. Season 2, I did have some pretty forgettable fucking episodes.
I know, right? I was talking all this shit on season 1, touting season 2 is like when they really find their legs, and I'm not willing to walk back that statement, but I will say upon further review, getting these ready for the rewatch, I will say season 2's got some motherfucking clunkers, dude.
Yeah, is it me, or does it only really start to find its feet when Angel loses his soul?
I don't know. I feel like the next episode's really great. So
that one's actually a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah. So we got to skip from Northern. Critter, you're next in the queue. Go for it,
I'm
my brother.
I'm gonna say meh. I enjoyed it. I thought the snake monster fluke man knockoff was kind of cool, and just the creepiness. Like women in peril. Chain in the basement's kind of extra creepy too. So I like that.
Yeah, it's really hard to finish masturbating when that scene's on. If you got kids, you got to take care of. So I get it. I mean, it's just the struggle's real.
What in the ever loving hell? I will say I want to make two really quick points. One, I kind of like the Giles in training with Buffy reminds me of Inspector Clouseau and Kato from the Pink Panther films.
Okay,
am I booming out here? And then
a bit, yeah.
Okay, and the last thing is again, please correct me if I'm wrong. But the frat party sequences, I feel like it's not real life. I feel like someone wrote that from all the other TV shows and movies they've seen, because of all my friends who were in frats, no one had stories like this, dressing up in bras and getting spanks. But then again, maybe I'm wrong. Unless you guys have friends that were hazed in fraternities, and it just, to me, it's like, oh, this is just like a cliched sitcom of what happens at a frat party.
I think it's somewhere in between the truth of it. I think it's somewhere in between on that. I think they're, certainly I don't think they're summoning a demon, but fuck, I don't know, man. I do work at a college, so I've not seen anything like that. And the couple of frats that I've been in to do maintenance work or security thing, or I've never seen anything remotely like. They just look like a bunch of dudes fucking hanging out playing video games and shit. I don't know what they did in the 90s before they had Nintendo Switch though, so conceivably there is a big snake monster underneath one of these things. I don't know. I literally live about 20 miles from the pit of hell in Stull, Kansas, so my own very hellmouth is very close to me. It's like a 20-minute drive. So I mean, fuck, I don't know, maybe there is. I need to inspect more frats among Kansas, but I get what you're saying. Like it seems like someone was just put all the generic frat boy stereotypes in there. They're fucking,
that's
they're dude bros. They fucking you got the one guy that's kind of cool, but the other guys that are really. I did like the one line where the other girl that's chained up, and she says, watch out for that one, because he's the nice one, because he's the most dangerous. I did like that. That was kind of cool. That's a cool line that I'll probably steal somewhere down the road, because 30-year-old show, no one's gonna remember that line except for me. So I did like that. And Toonyboy, which areas is that meh? Is it steaktastic, or is it skippable?
I must say this is probably one of the few steak tasks of the show. No, I'm kidding. Right.
Oh, you were so close to getting bounced from the screen, bro. I almost nunchucked your ass right there.
That would have been impressive. So
typical humor from a 10-year-old.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, it's got to be the fallback joke. No, there's not. I probably would sell on a skippable, to be perfectly honest. I wouldn't actually skip it myself, just because I don't bother skipping things unless I think that they're like really detrimental to the show.
Okay. But if you were recommending it to somebody else, you would say skip it.
I probably wouldn't give them an episode, like an each episode breakdown, to be honest. I'd just say, recommend the show. I'd probably tell them season 2 has a couple of slow episodes, but it does start to pick up.
Yeah, Toonyboy, I need you to pick a lane, buddy.
Right. I'll give it a skip. as an actual
Giving it a
rating.
skip. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So I think it's no surprise where I fall in this. It's definitely skippable. I mean, it has a couple cute things in it that, you know, the Xanders. But again, if I'm trying to, I do this with the purpose of trying to recommend the show to somebody, and I already get enough shit about Buffy being my favorite show. Lord Toxic's favorite show is Buffy. Oh my God. You know, I already get enough of that bullshit as it is. So, you know, as it stands, it's definitely something that I would definitely gatekeep and say, you know, hey, make sure you're watching just these particular episodes and not, you know, other ones, because, you know, some of them are going to pull you right out of it. If I was watching the show again in the 90s, I would be okay with it. But watching it, you know, now I'm just like, ugh, you know, I don't really need the Bangel speak. I don't need this. And, you know, the whole frat boy thing or whatever is just kind of lame. So.
The thing is that Buffy has some... Yeah, I was gonna say the thing is that Buffy does have some really good episodes. So like, it's even the weak ones like this, they can't ruin the show.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. Okay, so here we go. Northern English Bastard and I actually about a year ago did a rewatch on Halloween and tried to skip it by the censor people, and they just ripped me a new asshole. Immediately copyrighted me on that one. We were so naive, Northern English Bastard and I, back in the day, trying to think we were going to get that one by. But so the Halloween episode, let's see what I can get away with here today. It's probably not going to be much of anything, but anyway, we're going to try. So it's Halloween night in Sunnydale, and we get the introduction of Ethan Rayne. God damn, I love this character. We do not get enough Ethan Rayne in this show. And unfortunately, even in his comic book follow-up, he's very ill used. I won't spoil the comic book for anyone who hasn't read it. But so the kids are going, they've been Principal Snyder is procured Buffy and her friends. They're going to have to go take some kids trick-or-treating, so they have to wear a costume. So they go to local Ethan Rayne's costume shop, and Buffy finds this fantabulous dress, as she says it. So she's going to get to wear a cool dress on Halloween night and make Angel go nonverbal. Meanwhile, we have Spike in his lair with his guy who he had use a video camera to video camera Buffy using her tactics against a local vampire. And he's trying to figure out the best way to kill this vampire. Or excuse me, kill this Slayer, as he's already killed two, and she's been a royal pain in his ass thus far. So showing again, Spike has the ability to use specialized tactics and strategy, but at the end of the day, his blood will usually win out, and he'll go after them in a balls out way. While he's reviewing the fight footage, he decides to start talking with Drusilla, and Drusilla, of course, has a vision. And the vision Drusilla has is that on Halloween night, a night when, for whatever reason, plot contrivance, vampires don't go out on Halloween night, Buffy's going to be weak, and then Spike will have a chance to go kill her. So he doesn't exactly know what this is, because her visions don't always make a whole lot of sense, but he trusts in what they are, and he decides that, okay, well, me and the crew are going to go out on the town on Halloween night against our usual habits, and I'm going to take me out some Slayer. And this is without giving away the twist that happens halfway through the episode. Northern, what's your thoughts? I mean, I already know, because we already did this about a year ago, but what's your thoughts on this, Northern?
This is a fun episode as well. You get to see Spike sort of like embracing the chaos, even though he has basically been trying to be a bit more tactical. But that Spike, though, he's the punk, isn't he? He's the punk vampire. Yeah. Once again, you get Ethan Rayne making his first appearance, and he's very charming, but at the same time, he serves as a good way to introduce us to a really good character who we'll see later. But not only that, add a bit more context to who Giles is, revealing a very dark, ruthless side to Giles as well. And I think this might be the first time you're watching this and thinking, man, Giles is kind of cold-blooded when he needs to be. But
yeah, Ripper.
We've also got the characters acting out of their characters, and this shows just how great the chemistry is. Even when they're playing different characters, they still gel together. Even when they're still playing, changing the personalities. And it's fun to see Xander sort of like go from the dweeb to this badass.
Careful. All right,
Yeah,
Critter.
well-
Without giving away the twist that happens halfway through the episode, before we start talking about that, what's your initial thoughts on this one?
Well, I thought the principal reminds me of Strickland from Back to the Future. I thought that was kind of funny.
Okay.
And I like that. Like after watching the other two that were enjoyable, that you are getting, I think, almost up to 15 minutes of a lot of information. Like we are moving forward. You're getting stuff about every time a character comes on screen, you're getting the stuff. The story's moving forward. But I have to say that the scene that you just showed prior with Spike and Drusilla, I really like that sequence.
Me too.
Yeah, the darkness, the accents, the music. I'm like, I'm like, oh, this is like cool and dark and smoldering. I just liked how she was like with that accent whispering, and he's just standing there like, I guess I'll say just pontificating. So I kind of thought that scene was really, really cool.
All right, Toonyboy, initial thoughts without giving away the halfway through the episode spoiler.
That's a tricky one. Yeah. So the Spike and Drusilla scene, I feel like she really does change later in the seasons. Like, it just doesn't seem like the same person, because Drusilla and Spike in especially in that scene that you just referenced where he was analyzing the fight footage, she's very creepy. That's like her whole character. It's like, yeah, she's seemingly the one vampire that gets visions and all that kind of thing. And Spike knows like exactly what information to get out of her and how to use it to his benefit. I mean, like you said, he still enjoys the chaos and just going out on a hunt, but he does also enjoy winning the fights that he does. So he just tries to use his brain from time to time. And also Ethan Rayne, he's also, this is, like you said, this is his introduction. Very a creepy character, but he's got a history that we want to know more about, and he's underused in the later seasons.
Yeah, bringing that about. How great! I'm going to ask everybody in the panel real quick. How great would it have been to have a constant recurring side villain in Ethan Rayne? Like every single season, we get an Ethan Rayne appearance doing some shenanigans, working for whichever big bad happens to be that season, doing something that and I feel like they tried to do this, but it peters off without giving too much away. It peters off after season 4. And of course, the show went to season 7, but how great would it have been to just have an Ethan Rayne appearance in every single, I think Toonyboy just expressed how he would feel about it. And you know what I think, Northern Ethan Rayne, every single season, a little chaos thrown into the mix to go.
I would have liked that, because he can do the comical, he can do the comic time. He's got comic timing, and he can be menacing when he needs to be.
Yeah.
He's got that great balance between it.
Critter, thoughts?
Yeah.
Ethan Rayne every season?
I think so. And if not a full, like not involved in an episode, maybe from time to time, like not post-credit, they didn't do that, but like maybe just a quick ending sequence where he's doing a thing that's going to lead to something else 4 episodes later.
Mm-hmm.
Like foreshadowing sequence.
Yeah, no, I really feel like we were robbed of Ethan Rayne popping in. Every single season would have been fucking delightful. Just to add it, because he's not even a villain, really. I mean, I guess he kind of is, but Ethan Rayne is kind of just like, he's just this agent of chaos. He doesn't want to kill people necessarily, but if that's what happens in the midst of chaotic things happening, then hey, so be it. He doesn't give a shit. But yeah, no, it's one of those things I really wish that we would have had. There's a little bit of a fucking subplot here. I guess I'll just pay it a little bit of lip service. There's a little bit of subplot here where Angel and Buffy can't seem to figure out the dating thing a little bit, because he's a vampire and she's a slayer, and Cordy kind of moves in on Angel a little bit, foreshadowing some stuff that might happen maybe on another show later on, whatever. I don't feel like Cordy and Angel have a lot of chemistry. I don't really see that, and I never do. And I know there's a lot of, Cordy Angel shippers, as they call them, but it doesn't work for me. And I don't believe for a second. It is interesting that she is there swooping in on him and does get him to laugh, because I don't think I've ever seen him laugh before this episode. And she says kind of a lame joke and he laughs at it nervously. And I thought that was kind of interesting that he'd even do that. People who are reading ahead, who know where Angel leads, kind of go, is this it doesn't seem very organic or natural, but anyway, it leads to a whole Buffy feels like she can't have a boyfriend because she's a Slayer, even though it's a fucking 200-year-old vampire that's got a huge boner for her or whatever. So yeah, it's okay. It's not much of a plot. I don't pay it much of a mind, but again, it shows Cordelia's nature that she's gonna go after Angel, and whenever she gets a free second, but Buffy's always gonna win the day as far as that. He gives her the whole "No, you look beautiful," fucking fuckboy speech to her, and it's whatever. It's gay. It's lame. So anyway, the big twist of the episode that I really like. Let me see if I pull up the correct clip. So for those who don't know, spoiler alert. The costumes purchased at Ethan Rain's shop all turn the kids into the thing that they dressed up as. So this is an episode when when they get the vision of when Spike and Drusilla get the vision that Buffy's going to be weak. It's because she turns into a 17th century woman due to Ethan Rain's spell and due to the fact that she's wearing something from his costume shop. Right here, everything's still going okay for a few seconds. We're doing cute, take the kids out trick-or-treating stuff, but then the spell from Janos the statue erupts, and we get a cool scene where the kids are asking for more candy. The ladies run out, and Ethan does this great
Viskera, Janos, sume nocte.
I really like that the wind moving through as the spell is coursing all over town, and I love Ethan here.
Showtime.
I could have sworn I had more candy. I'm sorry, Mr. Monster. Maybe I.
It's like kids turned into a fucking demon. It's like what?
And I like that the monster attacks the old fat woman who didn't have enough candy on fucking Halloween, but yet then they start attacking each other, and then Willow ghostifies herself up, and just chaos just erupts all over town.
Yeah,
which I think is fucking awesome.
I just love that moment. Like, I love the noise she makes as soon as he grabs her by the throat. It's like, I'm sorry, I thought I had more candy, and then it's just all chaos.
Yeah, and the wind of the spell is like sweeping all over town. It's like searching for the people who got costume stuff from Ethan's place, and it's just like hitting them all at once. I'm not really sure how this ghost thing works with Willow. It's not really well explained, but of course this is the money shot right here. Xander he doesn't even change. He just still looks like Xander, but gets dog tags, and he's got a fucking M16 all of a sudden, which by the way, M16s, all this fucking automatic fire you get from the M16, they don't do that, by the way, but whatever. I mean, it's cool for the show. And I guess he's got one of those magical, endless clips or whatever. So the outfit that Willow was going to wear to entice the boys, again, somehow Buffy was still trying to get her to go after Xander some kind of way or whatever. I don't fucking know what the point it was, but Allison Hannigan revealed in a behind the scenes thing on one of the DVDs that I listened to that she spent like a month doing crunches for this because they knew that her bare midriff was going to show. So like in between things that she was like doing like crunches and lat stuff, trying to get her body looking this fucking tight, which I don't really like skinny girls. I'm a bit of a chubby chaser. I like my women built for comfort, not for speed. But I mean, you have to admit, fucking Allison Hannigan's pretty fucking hot in this scene. So
give me a scene where she's not.
Vamp Willow, maybe. Vamp Willow, not super hot. Vamp Willow.
I love Vamp Willow. No, Vamp Willow. She does.
Oh wow. Okay. So one of the side effects of the spell is that everybody but Willow loses their memory. So they completely devolve into the character they are. Xander now believes he is Private Harris of the 82nd Airborne, and Buffy believes she is Buffalonius Stupendous or whatever the fuck of the whatever the Southern Belle bullshit thing that she is in the 1700s. And I think that's it. Oh, I guess the bully, the gay bully, is a gay bully pirate, and which he does pretty much try to essay Xander when they fight. So he wants to give him the high seas. But so yeah, those are the ones that specifically turn in their costume. And Willow, yes, did turn into a ghost, but for some reason maintains her mental acuity and memories and all that stuff. So this winds up not only being a kind of a cool Xander episode and an interesting Buffy episode, but it also kind of, we get to see Willow kind of take charge of the group a little bit.
Jokes.
Yeah, what the hell's going on here?
You don't know me?
Lydia, I suggest you find cover.
No, wait. Oh.
Gotta love those special effects. So if he just walked through her, what did he think pointing the M16 at her was gonna do here?
I think it's just the reflex reaction you'd have. Like, you'd be like, hang on, was like you wouldn't even. You got to do something, and like, not that the M16 would do anything, but that you've just got to express some form of intent.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Hey,
Northern, I already know a lot of what you say because, like I said, we did do that. But just for the audience's sake, what is your thoughts on the big reveal here, where everybody turns into their costumes, specifically Xander and Willow and stuff like that? What's your thoughts on this?
No, it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. It is both funny and it does add to the fun as well. It's just cool seeing his characters sort of like go out, just kind of go the opposite of who their characters are. It gives them a little bit of a break as well, because we all know actors get a bit bored playing the same parts. So this was a good change of pace.
Yes. Brilliant. That's exactly my thoughts as well. Critter, I know you just watched this episode. So what's your thoughts on the big reveal when they all turn into their costumes?
Well, I'll admit I was confused as to why Cordelia wasn't a cat. And then, of course, it gets explained because her costume's not from there. I think that Willow retains who she is because she wasn't like a 15th century woman, wasn't a military army guy. I think because it was Willow as a ghost. So therefore, I think that's maybe why she retained herself, because she wasn't like Casper or the creature from Poltergeist. She's just me as a ghost. And I also, this is really thin here. Granted, these are adults getting adult costumes to play for Halloween, but the gun having never-ending ammunition, and I kind of thought like, well, maybe as children, when you dress up and play pretend, you never think of reloading your stick gun or your toy gun. So maybe there's a weird, and this is really a deep dive and off base here, but maybe it's a costume, and therefore he wouldn't have to replace the clips because it's a child with a never-ending rounds of ammo in his gun.
Right. For my veteran people who might be, what Critter meant to say was rifle and magazine, not gun and clip. But there you go. But yeah, no, interesting. Toonyboy, what's your thoughts when they all get turned into their costume? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. I didn't actually notice the dog tags when I watched it earlier. Like when the camera zooms in on Xander and then it pans out and he's got the dog tags. I just didn't notice the dog tags. I don't know what that says about my attention to detail, but oh dear me, well, I've been zoomed in. Okay, all right. But yeah, so I like what I like about this episode is the stuff it leads to. So regarding Xander, like he's usually been treated as the dork throughout the seasons. Like he's not really physically adept. Even though you think he should be, because I think it was it you Toxic that pointed out he is fairly he has got a decent build.
Yeah.
I like how his character develops from this going into the later seasons. Like he sort of remembers stuff from when he was it was Private Harris.
Yeah.
I do like the stuff that it leads to, and again,
I do. It speaks volumes that Xander is even in his mind when he gets turned by the spell, he doesn't consider himself a sergeant or a captain or anything. He's just private Harris with the 82nd. So I think that's interesting. Or 101st. I know he's one of the airborne units. I remember that he says. I also like this where Buffy's shit is like, it's only been a few minutes. It's already wearing on fucking Willow's already like over this shit. It's just a great line. She's like, she could have dressed up as Xena.
Yeah.
It does add the stake. It does raise the stakes as well, because Buffy's like the only one who can stop this, and she's completely helpless.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
she's
still intense.
Yeah, she's still Buffy, but she doesn't have any of her power, or she wouldn't know how to access her powers.
Yeah.
So we get Cordelia's been running away from Jojo, the dog-faced boy who is turned into his costume. Willow was dressed up as a, cat because, she's a mean girl. So obviously she knows that you're supposed to dress up as hot, slutty chick, which also Buffy did know, which is she tried to encourage Willow to do the same. But of course, Willow chickened out at the last second and put on a ghost costume. So Cordelia comes in and we get a whole little exchange here with Willow and Cordy, which is pretty funny. So I'm going to play it real quick.
You're not a cat. You're in high school and we're your friends. Well, sort of.
That's nice, Willow. And you went mental when?
You know us?
Yeah, lucky me. What's with the name game?
So yeah, for whatever reason, we don't know at first, Cordelia did not turn into her costume, so she's not a big cat. And that kind of gets hammered to death a little bit, but it is interesting enough to, leave it in there. So we get Xander alpha mailing it up. And of course, because he does, hey, let me set my rifle down and give you my fatigue jacket really here. Right quick there, little lady. I'm going to take care of you because, women want to be empowered, but what they really want is a big, strong man with a rifle to take care of them. God bless them on that. So
the bigger the better.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the initial Xander Cordy. Anybody else getting that vibe, or is that just me?
I think it does kind of lead that way as well, and I think it becomes even more apparent after she starts ogling Xander when he starts swimming. The swimming team, anyway.
But at that point, they're already dating, aren't they?
No, I think they date a little bit later because they got to go. They get stuck in a house with the cockroaches, don't they?
I think the swim thing is after that, actually, buddy.
Yeah, it is. I think it is a little bit after that.
Critter, were you getting a shipper vibe between Xander and Cordy here, or was it just you figured just one-off thing because of the spell?
No, the spell part, but I will admit, seeing how I'm just starting the whole rewatch, it's like again, so many triangles. Will they? Won't they? And the one gives the puppy dog eyes to one, and then an episode later, it's they moved on.
Yeah. Toonyboy, what's your thoughts? Xander and Cordy looking good or no?
I don't know if they really planned Xander and Cordy at this scene. I think it may have just been something that we know happens later in the show, and so we've extrapolated that into this scene where it was just a spell to begin with.
Yeah.
I think at this scene it's just them. It's just Xander and his spell.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were really trying to set that up in this scene in particular.
Well, that's interesting. You're 100% in the wrong because they were intending to ship them as early as no assembly required with where they put the kid into the Frankenstein thing. They just halted it for later on in the season. They couldn't find the right time to do it, but they had already intended it right at the beginning of the season. But there you go. That's okay. I know more than you. I'm supposed to. I'm the host. Yeah. So this is my absolute favorite scene from James Marsters. Even when he's delegated to backup character or whatever, he fucking steals every scene that he's in. So we've got all these chaos. All these kids have turned into monsters. The monsters that are already monsters are running around enjoying the festivities because things are in total chaos. Whereas usually. Supposedly for whatever reason, vampires and the forces of darkness take the night of Halloween off because it's just too trendy or whatever. But those of us in the know of Halloween lore know that the ritual of Samhain was that the Druids and the Celtics back in the day would wear costumes on the night of All Hallows Eve to ward off evil spirits. So that's basically what we can extrapolate from that, is that it's a mixture of modern day I'm over this and past thing that people are wearing costumes in order to fight off or ward off the forces of darkness. But James Marsters just walking through the middle of town like this just fucking kills me. I must have watched this scene like 100 times.
Well, this is just neat.
How long fucking words you had to say neat? It's a dodgy line as well. It's a dodgy word.
Yeah, you've got to appreciate just the smile on his face.
That
the way he
slight
says it.
pause made it even better. That little slight pause between the final word.
Neat.
Yeah. So we get a little bit more exposition showing how far the spell has gone. Buffy is not coming back. She's totally all in this 1700s, gown wearing Buffonti princess chick, and Xander's totally hardcore. We get to see a little bit more of Xander and Rip Muscle. I think that was the whole point of him taking off the fatigue jacket and giving it to Cordelia, so we could see a little more real Rip Muscles. Eagle-eyed viewers will be able to see that Xander, in fact, on his right arm does have an airborne special forces tattoo that you are supposed to get when you go into the airborne and special forces, which I did not get because I was a military policeman and not allowed to get tattoos. Wah, wah, wah. But closer look at his dog tags and the way that he has bombarded and constructed some sort of barricade. Buffy's mom strangely absent during this. You think she'd be home watching movies, but she's out doing something and somehow avoiding the chaos for whatever reason. Maybe my only nitpick military wise in this is the fact that Xander's dog tags don't have the black silencer on them that most of us know to wear that stops your dog tags from jingling and jangling. And Xander, even though fully ensconced in the spell, looks at this picture of himself, Buffy, and Willow in regular days and says, hey, maybe there's something to this. Maybe we do have amnesia because this definitely looks like us. And, Buffy very cutely says, I don't have amnesia. I bathe quite often.
I want to play
Xander gives her the whole speech of if these monsters come through, it's gonna be a fight or die situation. And Buffy says, well, I'd rather die. And Xander, quite correctly, no bullshit, no nonsense military guy says, well, then you're gonna fucking die then. And that's when we get Angel comes into the area and just says, hey, total chaos out there. What's going on? And I don't have the clip, but Buffy and Xander both turn to him and go, who are you? And he doesn't know what's going on, and it's pretty funny, and wackiness ensues. Anyway, so basically it's just there's not really much more to this episode, strangely enough. It's basically just Xander gets to kind of be the hero. You can really tell with the Joss Whedon written episodes because Xander is always like the alpha star in the Joss Whedon episodes, and Spike and a mishmash crew of his own vampires, plus some of the monsters that the kids have turned into, goes after Buffy. And Giles finds Ethan Rayne, comes off all Ripperish, and we find out there's more to Giles than meets the eye. No big surprise there. And Ethan Rayne is an old friend of his, has done this magic spell, and this is something that he's done quite often. And Ripper decides to stop him by kicking the ever-loving shit out of him, and they wind up breaking the statue, thereby breaking the spell. And Buffy at the last moment comes in, and right before Spike goes in for the kill, she manages to get her memory back, thereby getting her power back, thereby being able to stop Spike from, eliminating yet another Slayer. So got a little clip of that right here.
Yes. And I stabbed him 37 times in the chest. Carl, that kills people. Oh.
Okay, well, that wasn't the right clip, but basically it's basically the same thing. So, okay, so I mean, there's not really much else to say with this. At the end of the day, Angel and Buffy wind up making googly eyes at each other, and he says those kind of chicks bored the shit out of me. We know later from watching Angel that that's a fucking lie because he gets turned by Darla. Hell, we know by the end of this season, skipping ahead, that that's a lie, and he did enjoy chicks like that, and that's exactly what Darla looked like when he first met her. So, I mean, guys got to lie to a chick sometimes. That's the only way they'll respect you, and that's the only way you can keep them in line. But great episode. Probably one of my favorites. I was always surprised that there was not a Halloween episode. There's 7 seasons of Buffy, and there's only 3 Halloween episodes. I always thought that was weird. I always thought this kind of show lent itself to Halloween episodes, and yet they only do 3 of them. And this is definitely the best of the 3, in my opinion. I have a lot of love and affection for the other 2 Halloween episodes for what they are. But this is definitely the best one. And it's one that most people keep in their top 5 that are fans of the show. Northern, I kind of already know what you're going to say, but give me your thoughts on it and your score of skip, meh, or steak-tastic.
It's a fun change of pace. It's a steak-tastic.
Okay. Anything else you want to say on it?
No, it's just a fun episode. I mean, it kind of adds a bit more context to Giles as well. It shows a little bit more of of the chemistry of the cast and how great the writing can be. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Critter, what is your thoughts? And this time that you rewatched it, was that your first time watching it, or?
Yeah, this yes. I thought it was probably one of the best Vamp Scarapalooza episodes ever.
Nice. So would you?
Yeah,
I guess Steaktastic. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the episode?
No, I enjoyed it. If you're gonna jump in after seeing maybe the pilot, I guess you could possibly jump to this. I mean, it kind of lays out the concept of the show with the love triangles and mantra of the week and villain of the week, and it's good Spike intro too. So.
Yeah, his little cameo and is great. I love it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Toonyboy, give it to me.
I would definitely say it's got to be Steaktastic.
Nice.
It's the which I think that means that I've rated an episode each of the different rankings. So no ranking is left unvoted for. Yeah, so I enjoyed the implications that we got about Giles in this episode. As Ethan Rains.
Yes.
Yeah, as Ethan. I think this is Ethan Rains' first episode, right? I don't remember him showing up before.
No, this is Ethan Rains' first appearance. You are 100% in the correct on that. Very sparse appearances. I think he only shows up in 4 more episodes.
Yeah, I think it's at least
one more in this season. Yeah, one more in this season. He pops up again in the delightful candy bar episode, very similar to this in a way, in season 3, and then he pops up again in a fantastic episode where he does a spell on Giles personally, a new man, and then that's it, and then he's gone from the series altogether until you read the comics, and unfortunately he doesn't get a great end in the comics either. Spoiler on that. So Steaktastic for you on this. Anything else you want to say about it?
Not particularly. I mean, I guess I enjoyed the concept of the episode. It was a very good idea. Everyone, becoming their costumes, and it was very well acted. So I'd say, yeah, that's I don't think I'm gonna end up rambling if I carry on. So
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah. We're not that far over time, and I knew we kind of would be with how long we were taking on fucking Inca Mummy Girl, and that's on me. That's not on you guys. I mean, no big surprise here. This is definitely a Steaktastic. This is one of my favorite episodes. It always was a thing when I was a kid. I always had a fantasy that Halloween magic would overtake, and I have Irish grandparents, so they're big on Samhain and All Hallows Eve and stuff like that, and I had this great affinity for the idea that we would get turned into our costumes on Halloween night some kind of way. Since I dressed up as Freddy Krueger 2 years in a row, I guess that doesn't say great volumes about my mental health and upbringing, but whatever. But when they made this episode, my wife at the time actually got to watch it before me, and I had read the novelization Halloween Reign, which was a companion book series that they were doing, little pocket books that they did for the show, and that's a completely different take on, I guess it was written before this episode, so it was completely different take. And when my wife told me about it, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like something that I've been thinking about. So it's like Joss Whedon pulled it, straight out of my mind, but does it in such a clever way. I like all the performances. Some people have complained that Spike is like underused in this episode. I think he's used perfectly in this episode. Hell, if he only had that one line and he was just walking down the street, that would have been fine for me. But yeah, I like that whole scenario that they set up. It's cool to see these actors act in a way that's different than what we ordinarily see them. So I agree with Northern English Bastard on that point. And yeah, it stays in my top 5 of favorite Buffy episodes altogether. So final thoughts and anything anyone wants to plug, starting with Northern English Bastard, go for it.
Not at the moment. I was supposed to do Throw Mama from the Train with Enzo last Friday, but I fell a bit fucking ill, so I had to delay that. But we will be back on schedule in the Friday coming, 7 o'clock, and I'll try and get another review out as soon as possible if I can. Okay. Oh yeah, and I might do my favorite films of the 2020 so far later on. I just need to get the stream organized. So yeah.
Okay. How about you, Critter? And Critter, by the way, we have a thing where after the credits roll at the end of a stream, we usually just hang out in the green room and just shoot the shit. I know you've been like zooming out. I don't know if you have to like throw one of your kids around or if you have to go poop or something, but that's just like something that we usually do. Just FYI.
Yeah, it's really kind of like maybe not this time, but next time I promise. The kids have been up and I can hear them running around, so I got to kind of go check on them. And
Okay, but do you have anything you want to plug really quickly?
No, sir. I just once again thank you so much for including me, and nothing to plug just yet.
Okay, buddy. Well, anytime, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully, we can get you on something else. So go ahead and go smack those kids around because I know that's
You
important.
got it. Everyone have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes, sir.
You too, good sir.
Toonyboy, thank you again for doing this at kind of last notice, so to speak. And what is your anything you want to plug for your channel? I don't know much about your channel actually.
Yeah, it's not really related to the things I've been doing recently. I've been joining people's streams, reviewing stuff. I'm a Let's Player. I upload daily videos. 6 p.m. GMT. So today's it's not ready yet. I need to. I won't be able to hang out in the green room. Unfortunately, I've got to make sure I get this video out.
No, you're fine.
Today.
You're fine.
I'll try and be a bit more prepared next time. But yeah, so today's video is going to be part 11 of the Everspace 2 playthrough. I need to get that out as well and make sure I get it out really. So yeah, this kind of stuff just isn't like what I normally do. So yeah. Let's Play YouTuber. I play Warframe's an ongoing series. I play some Souls games. I've finished Sekiro quite recently. I've already got playthroughs of the Mass Effect games. I reference them a little bit too often, to be honest. But yeah, and I do take suggestions for games as well.
Cool. Do you think you could ever mod it up and get a I don't know how it would work because I don't know a lot about games, but they have two fantastic Buffy the Vampire Slayer games, one for Xbox, one for PS2. They're both delightful, fun things. Is that something that you could possibly mod up on your system and take a look at?
Well, I already have an emulator set up. I've been starting the original Dynasty Warriors recently. Okay. So I've got PS1, PS2 emulators. So I could definitely play the PS2 one.
It's called Chaos Bleeds. You should definitely check it out. It's really fun.
Yeah, I think I read it very briefly when I was looking up the episodes that Ethan Rain was in. I don't know. I've never heard of the games anyway. But the one that's on Xbox, I haven't got an Xbox emulator, so I'll have to look for that. I'll find out something to do that. But we'll see what happens with it. Yeah, I can put those on the list and try them out at some point. I've got to clear out some of the schedule though first. I've got too many ongoing games. I need to clear some of that out before I start new ones. But I'll put it on the list.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. Please, everybody, the links to the gentleman's channels were posted up there by Northern English Bastard. Thank you for doing that, Northern, including his own. I hope he put his own in there as well. Check out their channels because they are awesome. Toonyboy joins me on Horror with Nadia every Friday night. Do we do that on Fridays? That's Fridays, right?
Usually Fridays for me. Yeah. Well, technically it's a Saturday morning, but yeah, Fridays.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's over in the UK, so time zone's a little different, but you can catch Toonyboy and myself, Horror with Nadia, on Fridays, where we are balls deep in the third season of Stranger Things. And please check out Northern English Bastard's channel. I think he's got another Miami Vice thing coming up really soon. And if you're into horror, he's got a great take on Ash and the Evil Dead. That's one of his premiere videos, which I think is really, really good. He and I have collaborated several times, so you can catch him on a lot of my stuff, and you can catch me in more than a few of his stuff. Check that out. Critter, I'm not 100% sure what he's got. I think he's got a channel, and if he does, check him out. Thanks again to him for jumping on here. I know it's scary sometimes for people in their declining years to get on streams and mess with all this technology, so he's definitely the bravest of us all. But yeah, we'll be doing this every single week, and until next time, stay steak-tastic and watch out for those vampires.
Previously on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You are the Slayer. Into each generation, a Slayer is born.
Why don't we start with, hi, I'm Buffy.
Xander.
Cordelia. Willow, right?
Mr. Giles.
Angel.